So I get a lot of questions on this, and it's basically about body recomposition, which is the sweet spot of losing fat, but also building a little bit of lean tissue. So basically giving you the ultimate beach body. Now, I know a lot of content and stuff that you see out there is all about fat loss. And yeah, fat loss is key, but at the same time, you don't just want to get skinny, you don't just want to lose fat, you also want to improve your body shape. And that's the biggest thing is, yeah, you don't just want to become like a scrawny little rat. You want to still get relatively muscular, nice and defined, you want that nice lean look. And so this is what we're going to go over here. And this is what, as of this time and this point forward, I'm going to be focusing all of my attention around what it takes to get in truly great shape so that you actually start turning heads when you're at the beach. Because again, you don't want to get skinny. Like, I understand if you're obese or you're like really overweight, fat loss is your main goal. But for a lot of us, that isn't ours. We want to just get lean AF. I don't know why I keep doing this. Anyways, I apologise. Anyway, so body recomposition. Now, what exactly is body recomposition? It is quite simply shedding off a bit of fat, especially for those people that are like, say, a bit skinny fat, like you don't really have any real muscle tissue, you've got a bit of a belly, like you're not fat as such, but you're just kind of just out of shape. You just don't look great. So this is for you. First and foremost, calories. And look, calories are king. One thing that I can't stress enough for this is don't just go super low calorie. I still have this with a lot of people who I talk to, that I get on calls with, and they're just like, yeah, I've been trying to lose weight and I just eat like 1,200 calories and do loads of cardio, da, da, da. That's not going to benefit your physique, your relationship with food, or really your fat loss. Because the issue with just going super low calorie is A, you're not actually giving your body the kind of nutrients and the materials in order to kind of build a bit of muscle to improve your actual body shape. B, you just go, when you go super low calorie, you kind of, your body, don't get me wrong, it doesn't get shocked and like store fat as such, but it makes your fat loss a lot slower and a lot harder. It's a lot more of a grind because your body just starts fighting against you at every opportunity. And as a result, which is going to be C, is you just end up overeating when you take your foot off the brakes or you have a little cheat meal or one of these little things. So what tends to be the case is people get super restrictive when they go on these like really low calorie diets. So when they step outside of their kind of parameters, like if they go, okay, no carbs, when they have like a few carbs, they just end up overeating. They just like binge eat on those carbs because it's like that whole Romeo and Juliet thing, like I said in a couple of videos ago. And it is when you just say you can't have something, as soon as you say you can't, in the back of your mind, you're like, I really want it now. I really want it now. So again, don't worry about that. Don't go super low calorie. Go online and you can find 1,000,001 different calorie calculators. Now what I'd say is take 2 or 3 of them, put in all your details, see what number it is, and then just take an average of a couple of them, and then use that number. And then whatever that number is for your TDEE, which is your total daily energy expenditure, just subtract 500 calories from that. So for say like an average bloke who's say like corporate, so relatively sedentary, you're probably going to be looking at with that anywhere from maybe 1,800 to 2,200 calories. Which will be your cutting calories. And now quite simply, all you need to do is track your calories so you know that you're actually hitting that amount and see week on week how your progress is going. So are you losing weight? Are you losing fat? If you are, just stick to whatever is working. Keep doing what you're doing. If you're not, adjust. Cut off a few calories until you find that point when you are losing weight. And again, by losing weight, we're not aiming to be losing like 3 or 4 kilos a week. Unless you cut your arm off, that's not going to happen. You're only looking to lose a smaller amount, especially if you're not like I said, super fat. Probably not even going to lose that much, but you'll see your body completely change shape. So again, and as I said this in 1,000 other videos, don't base all of your progress on your weight. That is not what we're about. This is not Slimming World. We're on about improving your body shape, and that's not determined by your weight. It is determined by things like your measurements, how you actually look, and how you actually feel. They're three massive things. So just every sort of 10 days, 2 weeks, take your measurements, take your photos, and then just compare. And obviously I always track my weight anyway, just to see how it goes, but if my weight spikes or whatever one day, I don't then just get super neurotic and angry about it. I just understand that a lot of your weight is determined by how much water you're storing, not how much fat you're storing. Anyway, so from there, protein. Now this is one thing 90% of you out there who aren't or who are new like to the whole fitness sphere will massively undereat. Like a huge amount of people undereat protein. And when it comes down to initial fat loss, calories are king. So you want to make sure that you're just in a slight calorie deficit, not like a huge calorie deficit, a slight calorie deficit. When you're looking to completely improve your body shape, there's a little sweet spot where you're in a nice calorie deficit, so you start shedding fat, but you also have more than enough energy to absolutely crush your workouts and also build some tissue. Now it does sound like counterintuitive, and it is realistically very, very difficult, especially if you're well trained already. It's almost nigh impossible, to lose fat and build muscle. But at the same time, you can still you can still lose that fat and improve your body shape, because by having an adequate amount of protein, you're going to help create a nice full effect within your muscles and keep your muscles as big as they can possibly be, which is massive. So, secondly, after calories, protein is so key. So in a fat loss phase, when you're looking to obviously shed fat, what you want to make sure of is that you increase your protein amount. So you want to be aiming for kind of a minimum of 1 gram per pound. So if you're 180 pounds, you want to be going for at least 180 grams. Now, personally, I like to go higher. That would be your minimum amount. Like minimum, you don't want to go any lower than that. Can go anywhere from kind of 1 to 1.5, which when you get up to that kind of 1.5 amount, yes, that is quite a lot. But I'd say 1.1, 1.2, that's ideal. That's normally what I aim to hit. It's usually like 1.2. I do like a higher protein diet for these reasons here. So firstly, it's the most satiating macronutrient out of all the others. Makes you feel fuller for longer. Secondly, basically all protein does when you digest it gets broken down to amino acids. Those amino acids get shuttled around and utilised to basically build you. So your hair, your teeth, your skin, your nails, but most importantly as well, your muscles. Because when you're in a calorie deficit, your body will use everything that it can for energy. Your stored fat, stored carbohydrates, which is glycogen, that in the muscles and the liver, but then also it will attack your amino acids and hit your muscles as well. So that's not what you want, because the more muscle you have, essentially the higher your metabolism, so the more you can eat. So what you want to make sure of is when you're in a fat loss phase, you want to hang on to as much of that muscle as possible, because it's going to increase your metabolic rate. Fucking hell, got there in the end. Anyway, and then thirdly is the highest thermic effect of food, which means when you actually eat it and digest it, it takes a lot of energy to actually break that down into those amino acids. So from roughly 25 to 40% of the calories that you consume in protein is lost in digestion. Whereas when you look at fats and carbs, it's between sort of like 5, 15 at max. So let's just put that into some numbers. So if you eat 100 calories of protein, you're basically going to lose, or only digest, about 60 to 85 of those calories are going to actually get stored. Whereas when you're looking at carbs and fats, you can be storing about 85 to 95% of those. So again, not all calories are created equal. And when you look at overfeeding studies, people that overfeed on carbs and fats put on excess fat, a lot more excess fat. People that overfeed and overeat on protein, alongside, yes, they will put on excess fat, that's part and parcel of overfeeding, but they also increase the amount of lean tissue, so the muscle that they build. Again, for a lot of you, this goes back to that old school sort of like bodybuilding metric, just eat big to get big, bro. So yeah, protein is vital. Thirdly, your activity. Now this is massive. Like if you're just trying to lose a bit of fat with just your diet, you're gonna struggle because you're just gonna be eating less and less and less and less as your body weight starts to come down. But not only that is, we're not looking just to lose fat, as I've said. We don't want to get just skinny. We want to get jacked, bro. So again, making sure you're just active. So your NEAT, which is your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So that's just how much you move. Just what you just do randomly, like random little movements. You're walking, skipping, doing little roly-polies in the living room, playing with your dog, like all that random sort of stuff. That is all NEAT. Just the things you do when you're not aiming to work out or burn calories, and then follow that by workouts. When you're looking to improve your body shape and build, because you want to build that muscle and build that nice defined sort of lean athletic look, workouts are key. Now obviously, given the fact that we're all bound to your houses right now, you can still have or make great progress, especially if you're starting at zero. You can make great progress with just your body weights, or go on Amazon and get some resistance bands, some just heavy resistance bands. You will be surprised at how much you can actually hurt yourself and the level of DOMs that you can get with just a set of bands. So again, workouts are vital. And how you would like mix up your split, so whether you do push-pull legs, whether you do upper lower, all that sort of stuff, that entirely depends on how many times you're going to train. If you're only going to train 3 times a week, like if that's all that you can set aside time for, you want to be doing 3 full body sessions, because you want to be getting as much kind of frequency through your muscles, you want to be getting as much stimulus, through your muscles as physically possible. So again, if you're going to go for 3 times a week, don't then go for push-pull legs, because then you're only hitting a lot of your muscles once, which just isn't optimal to build as much muscle as physically possible, which is what we want to do. So again, 3 sessions a week, I'll just do a whole new video on that. So workouts, vital. Now NEAT as well, this kind of loops around to here. Health and mobility. Yeah, I understand that everyone wants to look amazing, but first and foremost, I think one thing everyone should prioritise is their health. Like, I think that's probably the most vital thing, because you want to make sure that this thing that you live in is gonna keep you going and moving as like optimally as possible, even when you're old and grey. So again, health is key. So like, I know you see a lot of these bodybuilders who will never run, will never do anything to get the heart rate up. I'm not about that at all. So I, by all means, go out run, go out swim, cycle, like skip, like box, just do things that are fun. Like if you don't like running, don't run. Don't like riding your bike, don't ride a bike. Like just find something that you enjoy doing that gets your heart rate up. Wherever that be, you just get like a punch bag, throw it in the garden, and just do different things like that. So you're working your heart rate through different levels. Again, it's just going to improve your overall fitness and your overall health. Or even just get a dog and just go on nice long walks. But again, I'd still highly recommend getting your heart rate up and elevated a few times a week for a good 30 to 45 minutes. And then mobility, this is a massive one, especially for a lot of people that work at home, where you're just sitting down at your desk, just like plodding away. When you just sit in this position like for hours, like for a prolonged period of time, it just plays havoc on your lower back, your glutes, your hamstrings, because everything just kind of gets tight and is really shortened, my blank again. And these little shortened stages. And that's why what you'll find is a lot of people at the minute where they're all just sitting down like this are really suffering with like shoulder pain, neck pain. It's because you're hunched. So one thing I could say on that is for mobility, just getting up and moving around, just stretching. Start your day off with a nice stretch, just getting out there, because it's gonna pay like hugely with regards to your actual physical health and just how well you move. Because again, it's not just about like looking amazing, it's about feeling amazing. Like you shouldn't have pain when you're like rubbing your bum cheeks or rubbing your legs. Like that shouldn't hurt. You should be able to do it. You should be able to get like a light massage and that not hurt. Like you should not have like such bad tightness or such bad inflammation in your muscles that even just like touching them or applying certain amounts of pressure are just like cringing in pain. It's not good. If that is the case, then you really need to start prioritizing what you're doing, because that is a clear sign that your body is not happy with what you're doing. So again, looking at things like stretching, looking at actual mobility drills. I don't mean mobility drills by mobility, I actually mean how mobile you are, how well you can move. So again, let's bring that all back around. But look, for body recomposition, obviously these things here, your health and your mobility, are going to improve when you start increasing these things and eating better. Like that is just part and parcel of, so just some of the collateral benefits of trying to improve your body shape is that these things hugely improve as well. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. If you do have any other questions, give me a little drop them below even, don't know what I was going to say. But so my next 2 videos, I'm going to do a video on supplements, and then also, like I said there, so training, breakdowns. So I'll just say which and how, just break down how I structure your training, especially if you're at home. And even outside when we get out the back of this, hopefully, which is in a few weeks' time, how you should then break down your training when you go back to the gym. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that game.